Hello there. How are you doing? I'm good, thanks. What is today? It's December 5th. It's a Wednesday, and I am now starting my 5th week of the Carnivore Diet. I like to call it Keto Carnivore because I'm finding out that, oh my goodness gracious sakes alive, good gosh almighty, have I got ketones. So many ketones on this diet, and I didn't realize that until I got the Keto Mojo. And I've been testing my ketones and my blood glucose since the 21st of November. Not every day, but almost. And the results have been amazing. Now, I switched to, and I wish I wrote this down, but I switched to one meal a day a couple of weeks ago-ish. And so really what I'm doing now, and I didn't realize how much of a calorie deficit I've been in with some of these meals. So like most days around noon, from noon to 1 is kind of my eating window. And most days I will cook a ribeye steak and anywhere from 3/4 of a pound to a pound of steak. And one day I cooked a pound steak and I couldn't finish it all, almost, but not quite. And so I asked my Google Home how many calories are in a 3/4 of a pound, or actually I just started with a pound. How many calories are in a pound of ribeye steak? And I got the answer of 1,300. And then when I'm doing, so then I asked her what 1,300 75% of 1,300 was, and it was 900 and something. So day before yesterday, I had 3/4 of a pound of ribeye steak was my only meal for the day. I didn't eat till 23 hours later. I only had just over 900 calories. And yesterday I had the full yesterday I had the full 3/4 of a pound of ribeye steak, and I probably could have eaten a little more, but I was out of steak. That's all I had. And so again, about 950 calories yesterday. So the last 2 days, my one meal each day was about 950 calories. So I don't know if that's great or if it's good or if it's bad, but I will tell you the weight loss results have been really good. So I'm averaging, since I started one meal a day, I'm basically averaging half pound down a day for the last 2 weeks or so. This morning I weighed in, well, I'll just, let's see, from the 21st of November till today, I'm down 7 pounds. So 21 plus 9 is the 30th, plus 6 is 15 days, and I'm down 7 pounds in 15 days. That's about a half a pound a day, which is great because I plan on doing this through December. So we have another 26 days. If I continue at half a pound a day, that's another 13 pounds by the end of December. And then if I can keep that pace up through my birthday, which is January 30th, just saying, I may be down to close to my ideal weight. Now, the one thing I haven't done yet that I really want to do is I want to throw in some morning exercise, and I'll be doing that hopefully this week before the weekends, next week probably for sure. And of course, as you know, or you may know, or you can research this too, the way I've been watching all these videos, some fitness people who do keto and others, including nutritionists and some doctors, talk about exercising when you're fasting in the morning, whether you're doing intermittent fasting or eating 3 meals a day, you're still fasting overnight. I just hit my microphone. So first thing in the morning, have a glass of water, go work out. And, probably aerobic stuff, you can throw in some weights and stuff like that, I suppose. But the deal is, whatever glycogen is left in your muscles, you will burn that up. And you will force your body to burn more fat. And I saw one video, and I can't remember who. I'd give him credit if I remember. Apparently, you have these little tiny pieces of fat inside your muscles, and you burn those up during a fasting workout, and then they have to be replaced because they're supposed to be there from the fat in your body. So however you slice it, you're using up fat when you work out, when you're fasted. So if I add that to my routine, I anticipate maybe I could lose weight even faster. Now, you don't want to lose weight too fast, right? Because you'll have all this loose skin on your body. But if you know anything about autophagy, which again, that's something else to look up if you haven't heard this before. Autophagy is basically when your body sort of eats itself. That's the literal translation of the word. And so what your body is doing is recycling old cells, recycling damaged cells, recycling the extra fat that you have around your middle, and you go into autophagy. Even if you're eating 3 meals a day, you probably do a little bit of autophagy from your fasting overnight. If you're doing intermittent fasting where you're only eating during an 8-hour window and you're fasting the other 16, you're probably doing more autophagy. If you're doing 1 meal a day like I am, you're doing even more autophagy in theory. And then some people even recommend maybe once in a while you do a 36-hour, 48-hour fast. I don't think I need that yet, but maybe I might throw that in once in a while. Some people do it once a week, some every other week. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe every other week I can try it, because even at 3/4 pound of ribeye steak in the last 2 days, I am really not hungry. A little bit, but not a lot. Really not hungry, and I can eat or not. I'll be fine. So that's pretty interesting to me. And so I'm really enjoying this. Now let's go over some of these. And if I was smart, I would edit in the numbers so you can see them on the screen. Let's see, when was my last video? It was a week ago yesterday or a week ago today, which would be November 28th or so. So on the 28th, my fasting glucose was 3.1. I'm sorry, my fasting glucose was 93, and my ketones were at 3.1. December 1st, after drinking coffee, my ketones were 3.0 and my glucose was 78. Let's fast forward to yesterday. My fasting ketones were 4.2. My glucose was 94. And then just before I ate my steak, my ketones were at 4.9 and my glucose was 76. And then this morning fasting, my glucose was 95 and my ketones were 3.6. So my ketones are really hanging in there on the high side, anywhere from 3.5 to 5. And my blood glucose anywhere from the mid-70s to mid-90s, but still really good. 76 is kind of low. 95 is this morning is actually great. You know, I like it better when it's in the low 90s. 95 is not too far out of whack. But so many ketones, so much ketosis, and I can really tell in the mood still is the biggest thing that I notice. Just really even keel, calm, mellow. I mean, it doesn't mean I don't have my moments in traffic, that sort of thing. I mean, I'm still a person. But my mood is just really, I want to say improved, but I think I mentioned this in my last video. I would have some days where I was pretty low for a day or two, and then I would bounce back really manic, and that has not happened. I have not been doing any of that in the last 3 weeks. No low lows and no high highs. It's just been kind of pretty even. So to me, that's pretty amazing, and it feels great, actually. And then you get some, I'm just going to throw this out there because this is a weird thing. And if you have experienced something like this, or if you can help me explain this in the comments, that would be fantastic. But I was watching this one gentleman, him and his wife did carnivore for a few weeks, and then they had this massive 3-day cheat day that they regretted. But he was talking about, he made this, it made me laugh, but at the same time I think about it, and I think I've mentioned this before too in one of my videos. He mentioned that it felt kind of like being on mushrooms, the way you feel. And I laughed, but at the same time I've been thinking about it, and there have been some times where, and not in a bad way at all, kind of like a really mild case of the mushrooms, if that makes sense, where I don't know, it just changes reality a little bit. it changes the way I experience time sometimes. I know I'm sounding a little bit weird, but if you have experienced what I'm talking about, please support me in the comments. If you think I'm crazy, tell me I'm crazy. But anyway, that seems to have kind of mellowed out too, so I'm not really experiencing a lot of that, but I don't know. So I'm just excited about what's happening on this carnivore diet. I continue to plan to stay on it. Maybe at some point I'll introduce some other, back towards a traditional ketogenic diet if I want to introduce more variety or whatever. But right now I really don't see the need. This is working, and boy, do I love my ribeye steaks. And I throw in some chicken livers, good for the iron. All the vitamin Bs that you need are right there in that liver. I mean, and then I'll have a little bit of chicken thighs with the skin on. The skin helps with the little extra collagen, which I'm hearing that you kind of need. So I feel like I'm getting everything I need. I certainly feel great. I'm losing the weight as planned, and then throw in a workout, and we'll see how great that turns out to be. So that's my update for today, December 5th. Thanks for liking, subscribing, and commenting. I appreciate it. We'll talk to you very soon.